This is about Stevie Knight and Abba and Preach. You know, I have watched both of them. I'm not a super fan of either one of them. However, I do feel like Abba and Preach usually have great takes and they're usually on the right side of history. But let's get into the video and let's actually see what's going on. If you guys want to lock in with me, I have my Discord community as well as my Instagram down in the description. But other than that, let's get to it. Stevie Knight called us out, got exposed instead.
We're doing another Stevie Knight video. And I know that half of you are like,
I could care less. I could care less about
Stevie Knight. He has a titled video called Damn, Is ABBA Fake?
I cannot say that I saw this coming. Abba ain't no stranger to doing the extra, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna just summarize this first point, but I'll link the video below so you guys can go watch it. For those of you who didn't watch the debate, consider yourself lucky. Here's a recap.
I feel like it felt like, I didn't feel like that. I feel like, do you feel like, I feel like I could care less about why you feel the way you feel. I'm not a fucking machine. They need to be controlled. They need to be decapitated to feel heard. I feel like everybody's gonna feel differently. There is emotion tied to it, bro. I'm a human being. Like some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is. So logically, it is what it is. Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
I don't need to Google. Somebody Google it in the chat. I don't even need to look up the stat. Every motherfucker engaged in evil could burn.
During our debate, there was a discussion about school food lunches, starvation, food insecurity.
One thing is, I do feel like they usually have good takes, but it's good takes for a YouTube video. A YouTube video that they cut up and they, chop together. I don't think that they would be good in a debate setting, ultimately. Not to say that they would be bad in a debate setting, but I don't think I want to hear Abba or Preach debating on something. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the vibe. But I digress.
Stevie and Kirk were constantly making this point that kids are not starving, so we don't need these free lunches in school. There's other ways for the kids to get food. Okay, that's pretty much the general gist of it. I try to explain that not everyone has good parents. Food stamps are not always accessible. 7-year-old can't apply for food stamps. Steve's like, listen, it's not a real problem. Kids are not emaciated, dying on the side of the street. And he harps on the fact that during the debate, Stevie himself was talking about starvation, third world starvation, kids, skinny bones, big belly, dying,
Starve. This isn't fucking people. It's not a famish going on. People are not dying because
no, they're not dying. But
famish.
I was talking about that. You were talking about a different problem that's less serious, and it's kind of disingenuous of you, Abba, to misrepresent me.
We can't be switching words out now, man. Food insecurity is entirely different than starving. That was the question posed in that debate with Kirk.
Now here's where I'll be accountable. Shouldn't have used the word starvation when I was talking to him. Even though us in colloquial terms, yo, I'm starving today, I need to eat. In a discussion, you should define terms. That's my fault.
You also gave yourself a 3 out of 10.
For the debate performance?
Yes.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. What I don't like is this very bad faith interpretation on his.
This should be funny. Preach always look like he's blessing us to be here. He don't want to be here, but he's here. I'm here. That should be funny to me, bruh. That should be funny. I feel like their characters mesh well. It seems like they actually like each other after all these years, and their characters are kind of mesh pretty good together and shit.
When him and Kirk argue against school lunches, them talking about starvation, these programs were never implemented to stop famine. They were not put in place so that kids were about to die on the side of the street and hey, here's a little sandwich at lunchtime. They were put in place to combat malnutrition because a lot of folks who didn't have access to food would show up, not eat, and their performance levels at school were bad. They couldn't pay attention. That's what the program's about. I personally think it's incredibly bad faith to come to a debate about a topic, about a policy, and argue against something that's never intended for. And throughout the debate with him too, I mentioned it. If you just Google it, it's so many kids today here in America, you could look it up the statistics that have malnutrition, that have food scarcity, that have all these problems. It stunts their growth. It fucks them up in terms of their academic success. If we were talking about kids dying on the side of the street, why the would I be talking about the fact that they won't get a good grade, and who cares? If we were talking about something that was terminal, I think I'd probably be like, how do we save these kids from dying?
I understand what you're trying to say. What I don't understand is why the f are we debating school lunches?
Sure.
Like you're trying to make a whole point about, F them kids.
You know, you just shitty parents. I get it, dog. This life. Life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro.
All right, life is hard, dog. Talking about children that can't change their circumstances, it's best to help them the best way possible. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they're talking about free school lunch or cheap school lunch or whatever it may be. I think kids should get free school lunch if they need free school lunch at the end of the day. And it's not about getting over on, you know, the fucking US. I just feel personally, I feel that yes, kids might not be starving on the street, but you know, they could go hungry that day. They could not eat that whole day until the next morning or till the next day or anything of that nature. So it's best to give them the chance to have something. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all it comes down to. If you're able to save one kid from starving, which I don't think, you know, kids are going to school and then, you know, starving nonetheless, because if a kid was at school and was like, I'm so hungry, I'm dying, chances are people would feed, you know, hopefully a teacher would feed them or somebody would feed them. You know what I'm saying? But it still comes down to the point where even if it helps one kid, bro, it's worth it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like if it saves 2 kids from, you know, going 3 days without eating any food and like really struggling, then it's worth it at the end of the day.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but
No school lunches. What? Why do you go against that?
I know.
That's the debate.
Y'all don't want to give that to kids, but prisoners get it, military members get it, a whole bunch of different adults get it. Also, aren't we a first world country? Like, just because we're not dealing with third world country problems, don't we solve them all the time? It's like saying, yo, we don't need to make our roads better because we don't have dirt roads like third world country.
Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist.
That's just not true.
We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
I don't understand this thing where it's like, it has to.
Who was screaming for that? I'm not gonna, like, who, like, sincerely, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? We give a couple thousand kids free lunch that don't deserve to have free lunch. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it should be something where, you know, it can go based off the parents. The school talks to the parents. The school sees the parents' income. If the parent has to say, oh, I want to apply for free lunch, they apply for free lunch. They look at the parents' income and they say, okay, you qualify for free lunch. What the fuck is is it that difficult? Or maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe I'm the problem. But it's really not that difficult. I feel like we should feed children. I feel like there's bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying?
Be one or the other. You know, you could have rich and poor people. You could have educated people and Stevie Knight. Both of those things
Educated
can all
people and
coexist.
Stevie Knight.
Like that.
Americans don't know what starving is. We don't know what starving is, man. But, you know, I see what he's doing here. He's playing semantics and moving the goalpost with this conversation, bro.
I love how you accuse me of playing semantics.
That's what
He spent 13 minutes talking about starvation versus food insecurity and not getting enough meals.
That's comedy gold right there.
If you talk like that about kids not having access to food, is it any wonder why people think you guys are monsters?
Bruh, here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, I ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe.
He don't need to be on ass like this. He don't. But he like I said, bro, I feel like Abba and Preach are usually on the right side of history. Usually. In the sense of like they have good takes, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, children that parents are struggling or parents, you know, won't feed them that night or may not feed them, you know, it's in the air if they're eating that night, they should be given free lunch. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Period. But in situations like this, like let's talk about Stevie. Like when it comes to a video, if someone took me out of context and I'm like, oh my God, bro, you used me out of context, I'm gonna explain it in depth. I'm gonna get on your ass. I'm gonna be like, no, this is what happened. This is what we was talking about. This is what I meant by this. You spent everything I just did, and I would explain that. I don't know if he did, but I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the video they put the link to Stevie's video, so maybe I'll react to that as well, just so we can get some more insight of what he was talking about. But explain it. Don't say it. Explain it. You know what I mean?
I think you needed them school lunches, Stevie. I was taken out of context. After a while, is it people taking you out of context or you don't know how to communicate? I'm just asking. The thing you're going to know, he's a big time fence sitter. He just won't take a stance. The whole thing is like, I don't care. I ain't pro-life. I ain't pro-choice. I don't care if the kids get the food, but I'm a capitalist. I'm against government handouts. I don't want the government to come save the world. But I don't care if they pass a program. If it happens, it happens. It's like probably anti-abortion. Am I right?
No, I don't know. I could care less. I'm not pro. I'm not anti. I respect this thing. I don't agree with it. Like,
But you want the government to get involved and stop abortions.
I never said. I don't give a fuck about what anybody does with abortion.
Did you say it's a bigger problem?
Yes, there's a bigger problem, but I didn't give a solution to it. I know it's a problem. But I never said what I want to do about it. I could care less. Like, it is what it is, dog. This life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro.
You want this?
I never said.
Okay, so I see where he was talking about when he said because earlier Abba did use that line, that exact same line of him saying shit, children in certain circumstances. I thought he was talking about kids eating. It doesn't look like that was the case. Yo, he was talking about abortion. He said sometimes kids born in fucked up situations. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it could be him saying children should just be born and, you know, they got we got to figure out what happens to them. Or it's also someone could get an abortion because kids be born into fucked up situations. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Why is he in a debate? Why is he having a debate if he's, like he said, if he's on the fence about a lot of things, you shouldn't be having a debate. Like, I'm not going to have a debate about somebody about, you know, abortions and shit if I feel like I don't really give a fuck if people should have abortions. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go with what the government says. Then I shouldn't be having a debate about shit. You know what I'm saying? Debates, I feel like, should be reserved for people with strong opinions. But then again, you know, you could be debating someone to not have a strong opinion about it. I think. Anywho.
I said these resources are available to them.
But that's what your solution is, right?
That's not my solution.
Bro, what is your opinion? I don't have any solutions, bro. I'm not saying what my solution is. I'm saying this solution exists.
This whole argument.
Like, I genuinely, guys, maybe I needed the school lunches.
What was Abba's solution? Because, like I said, I feel like Abba and Preach are usually on the right side, right? But after that one little part where that sentence was used in the wrong place, it totally led me down the wrong path. But, Abba, what was your solution? If that's the case, if he's saying there is a solution, I don't really know I don't know about no solutions. What is your solution?
Maybe I just don't get what this guy's talking about.
The whole debate was just eye roll.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with you with that, but I don't disagree with Kirk either.
Huh? I'm both anti-gun and pro-gun. You know what I'm saying? I could care less, bro. I could care less.
I don't know. I could care less.
All right, yeah. Y'all shouldn't have been debating. That's what this comes down to.
This
debate shouldn't have happened, bro.
I'm like, you know what? I couldn't.
Let's get past the fence sitter part.
You deserve their school lunches. I'm sorry it wasn't given to you.
Let's get past the fence sitter.
But he did a more recent video, one that you haven't seen, because he got a lot of backlash after he put out this video. His own fans were turning on him like, "Yo, Stevie, you were bugging. You were being hyper emotional."
Oh, no,
the comment section was flaming him.
Yeah, that is one crazy thing where he said, "I'm not even gonna look it up." Wait. We having a debate. Look, I get in a debate with my girlfriend and I pull out my phone to Google search something, she get mad. I'm Google searching shit. No, I'm finding the answer. Even if I'm wrong, then I got proved I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, you need to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like some shit ain't right, Bro say Google search it. Nigga, Google search it. That's one of them things, like, I'm a chronic Google searcher. You know what I'm saying? We having a debate about some shit. I'll pull out my phone and be like, let's really figure out who's right. Pull out my phone or Google search it. If I'm wrong, damn. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm right, I'm right. But you get mad because I'm Google searching? Nah, bro. And him be refusing to Google search, that's insane. That's bad faith right there. I'm not gonna lie. It really is.
Titled, Am I Sellout to Black People?
Bootlicker, coon, coconut, sellout, as of this whole Kirk situation.
Raccoon. That's a new one I saw online. They started calling them raccoons, you know, to avoid the, you know, the other word.
Listen, bro, these labels have been flying at your boy. Black man with more of a conservative take on things, like thinking black people need to be a monolith. Like all black people need to look the same and feel the same and view things the same.
Sure, but that's not the case right now. That's not the reason why. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what's happening.
Black man with more of a conservative take, black culture is going to despise.
This idea that black folks are somehow incredibly liberal, and that's not true. A lot of social issues relating to transness.
Yeah, I feel like no one I feel like I'm fine with people being conservative or being liberal. Like, you can lean towards whatever side you want to lean towards, in the sense of, you know, if you agree more with conservatives, you agree more with conservatives. If you agree more with liberals, you agree more with liberals, and you can lean towards that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like anybody should be put into a certain box. However, I feel like we should all use critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? And if you are a black man and you see that conservative ideologies are pushing you down, then you should, you know, avoid those certain conservative ideologies. You can be conservative and not agree with every conservative person, or you can be liberal and not agree with every liberal person. And that's the point that I feel like people need to take to, people need to just accept at the end of the day. I don't know what fucking word I was looking for. I was looking for a certain word, but I feel like, you know, we're all humans at the end of the day. We're not fucking clones of each other. So no one's going to have the same thoughts. No one's going to have the same, you know, ideas. And that's because of the fact that we're all fucking different people at the end of the day. And yes, you can be black and not, you know, have the same ideologies as the person right next to you that's also black. You know, it just comes down to we're all humans, and you should lean towards whatever you agree with at the end of the day. And whatever side you agree with, you don't have to blindly agree with it, because that's black and white at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying life is black and white, brother. Life is black and white. No, the fuck it's not. There's gray. You know, there's shades of gray, like they say. So people need to just be your fucking self, bro. You don't have to lean. You don't have to, I'm conservative. You don't have to, I'm liberal. Just be your fucking self. And, you know, it sounds like Stevie, he's saying, like, I don't agree but disagree. But also at the same time, in that scenario, you should not be having a fucking debate. You know what I'm saying? And then also, like, if people are calling you a you know, sellout, then you're probably having some bad takes. You're probably agreeing with some shit that ultimately brings people like you down that aren't up. You know what I mean?
Gay marriage. There's no group that's more against it than black folks in the USA. The highest religious group in the USA is also black folks by percentage. I think people believe that either because they're never around black folks or know nothing about them. They think that how people vote maps on one-to-one with what their values are, and that's just not true.
Regardless of what it is that I'm saying, for people to view me and judge me on what I'm saying based on my skin tone.
They call you a sellout because of the kind of shit you produce. You're not even presenting their arguments of why they think you're a sellout. I want you guys to go to his channel, Night Talk. Go to the search button. Not my feelings. Facts. Search the word black. See how many videos this guy makes shitting on black people and black culture. Now, I did take the time to click on a lot of these videos just to make sure, but let's look at some of these titles. I hate black people.
Okay, I like how he actually went and actually, you know, he's actually looking into it. But, okay, this is air quotes, Charleston White. So, you know, air quote, in quotations. You know what I'm saying? So he's not saying it. Someone's saying it.
And he agrees with him for a lot of the video. Black people are sick of black people. Dear black people, you suck. Black men don't date black women. Black people don't want to hear this. Only weak black men date white women. You know, shout out to, because he's dating a white woman. He's got a complex. He's a little bit, you know, insecure about that. He does get comments though, so I get it. Black Lives Matter 2.0? I hate black women. Black people have to stop being victims. She told, white people, finally, she told white people to stay out of the Black Panther. Okay, so it's still critiquing a black person on behalf of white people. This makes black women look so bad. And you gotta appreciate the hypocrisy. They'll be like, oh my God, these people think about race way too much. And they make that much amount of content about black people. Now flip it. Put in the word white. You will not find a single video, even though there's mass shootings, even though just recently there was a guy who ran up on that church and blasted a bunch of people, a MAGA guy. He hasn't covered it. Will he ever talk about any of these topics that plague certain communities? No. Now, you might say, but asymmetry is not necessarily a bad thing. And I agree. Sometimes you might have an asymmetry in the kind of things you make because you have more proximity to something. Fair. Do you do so in a nuanced way? Other communities have this, that. No, you don't contextualize it. You just be like, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. And then let's go to your audience. Why are they there? Why do you have so many people being like, fuck yeah, Stevie, you're based? Stevie tried one time. Stevie made a video about Nick Fuentes talking crazy about black folks.
So I guess Nick Fuentes, he's on another racist tangent. So, but with that, I'm in agreement with a lot of things that he said outside of the generalization of black folk, because your boy got some ghetto fatigue.
That video is one of his most disliked videos. And he hasn't talked about the criticism he got in that video. He hasn't talked about the backlash. He didn't make a follow-up on that one. His audience was shitting on him en masse. Why? Because they're like, yo, Nick Fuentes is based. He's right about what he's saying. You don't have to believe me. Go look at Night Talk channel and see the kind of content he produces. And then you come tell me why people might think you a sellout. Maybe they don't want you to manufacture a narrative that only the black community seems to have problems, because that's all you ever talk about. That's something that's always interesting to me, is like black conservatives will often get very defensive when they get called out on stuff. But it's like, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It's a lack of fairness. Imagine being in a family, you and your siblings all cause problems, and your parent only comes after you to scold you. At some point you'd be like, shit, I know I'm fucking up, but like, bro and sis fucking up too. He might lie now, he might say, oh, disproportionate. Like, yo, there's some crimes that even when you go proportionate, white people commit more. If you want to look at political violence, which you seem to care so much about since you made 20 videos on your daddy Kirk, that's almost exclusively white men. But if I'm wrong, Stevie, prove it. Why don't you spend the next year covering the other stuff? Let's see how well your channel going through. Let's see them dislikes. Let's see how your audience that you think are there for you and not because you're a bootlicker, let's see how long they last. And if I'm wrong, you know what up, Stevie? I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll give you 50 grand. If you spend a year doing that kind of content, because there's evil, right? It's about evil.
It should be a good versus evil thing.
I'll put 50 grand in escrow and I'll watch. And you show me the analytics. You show me the audience you cultivated. I don't want to talk about feelings. I want to see facts.
The thing that happened is that you probably just found the reason why he's fan sitting, because he doesn't.
He kind of spitting, bro. If you only, critique your own people, it's fucked up. It's fucked up when there's other things to critique as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you went to somebody's channel and all they did was critique women. It was like, oh, women. Women would come to your channel and be like, bro, all you do is hate on women all day, 24/7, brother. Like, there's niggas doing bad shit too. Show me what the dudes is doing. So I get it. I actually understand how people could be coming to him, calling him a sellout, when in fact he is critiquing his own people and not critiquing anything else. If that is the case, I'm watching the video like, yo, I didn't go through and search it up. But if that is the case, it's fucked up. And it is something that he should think about and actually make a change on at the end of the day. Just the other day, a couple of days ago, I made a video about white exhaustion. I ain't never get so much hate on a video ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, there's always bad comments here and there, but I ain't never get so many bad comments. You know what I'm saying? I have people in the comments talking about, you're a terrible person. I'm a terrible person? I'm a terrible person? Yes, I cracked a couple of jokes. I don't care. I crack jokes about everything. But now your feelings are hurt. I said to somebody, and I respect them because they actually responded, but someone made a comment and they said, why don't we just say idiot exhaustion or idiot fatigue instead of bringing race into everything? You know, it shows low IQ. And I was like, you're actually very correct. I shouldn't have clickbait the video about white exhaustion with putting, you know, a Karen and a screaming white man. You're right. I shouldn't have did it. It probably would get more clicks, but I did it. And I said to him, I said, you know what? In fact, if you can tell me, since you care so much about, you know, about fairness and that we shouldn't be doing this, send me one video, just a singular video that you made about black fatigue, or that's out there about black fatigue, and you commented back and said, we shouldn't be talking about this. Why don't we just do idiot fatigue? One singular video. Because you said you're tired of seeing it, right? They couldn't name a singular video. But they did come back and they said, you know what? You're actually right, but I'll make a conscious decision to continue to hold my stance and to do that in the future. And they wished me the best, and I respect that at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So that person, thank you. The other people in my comments, you guys were a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't say nothing racist. You know, I called a white woman ugly. I don't care. She was ugly to me. What does that have to do with anything? I called a couple of kids that were going to shoot up a school. I said they're idiots. Yeah, I said they're idiots. And what? You know what I'm saying? I talked mostly about people rather than a race, even as watching a video about a race. You know what I'm saying? And the whole video was basically satire, not satire. It was basically just the opposite of what black fatigue is. You know what I'm saying? But people were in my comments getting hurt about it. And that just goes to show, like, you can have certain things that affect, or certain things that people aren't used to seeing, and they react very badly to it. And so I see where they're coming from, where they're like, your fans, the people that rock with you, are locked in with you, they might not lock in with you for the right reasons if you have, you know, good content, good takes on things that affect them rather than only affect you. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, yeah, that was a kind of a tangent. Let's continue.
I don't want to necessarily upset the black, and he also doesn't necessarily want to upset the whites. So he's like, man, me no say, bro, I don't know. What you think? That's what it is. And now he's getting the flag, and he's saying that it's really black people shitting on him. But I've seen in the comments, it's not.
That boy doing a 30-yard stare right there. You see him?
It's not just black people.
He doing that 30-yard stare. See what?
Absolutely.
It's people that even agree with Kirk.
Is it called 30-yard stare? I forgot what the stare is called. But you know, and they be like,
It's even people that agree with Kirk. It's like, yo, I agree with Kirk, but you're crazy on that debate. Because no matter on what side you are, yo, not caring about kids is evil. And you should receive whatever you're supposed to receive because you're evil, right? Anyways, your words. Never mind.
Every motherfucker engaged in evil could burn. It is war because ain't no talking to them, ain't nothing you say to them. They need to be controlled. They need to be exiled, decapitated, whatever your cup of tea is, bro. There's no talking, bro.
It's like you are the extremist. You don't see yourself that way because everyone thinks they're the good and moral one. And Stevie thinks this is personal. It's not that I hate you. I don't give a fuck about you. But we as content creators have influence. And I'm just so sick of content creators and all this like, yo, get your money, bro. Get your bag. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably make a couple extra meals just grifting too. I think it's okay to have higher standards of people who make this kind of money. But maybe I'm just virtue signaling. I'm moral high ground. I don't even know how it's moral high ground. I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas grew up on. I grew up on like superhero shows and like basic shit like Great Responsibility. Is that moral high ground? Was Uncle Ben?
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Is Uncle Ben moral high ground? Well, I have a moral high ground. Why? Because I think a kid who don't have a meal should have a lunch? Oh, you just appeal to emotion. Y'all realize that if Jesus existed today and met some of these people in the comment section, he'd be like, let the children first be fed. They need not go away. You give them something to eat. Appeal to emotions. You're just trying to manipulate us into paying for welfare. No, I'm saying that children first should be fed. Why are you, as one of my followers, disagreeing with that? Stop taking me out of context. You're manufacturing a narrative, and I could care less. I could care less. I could care less. And also, the audience, you guys should demand more. This whole like, yo, get your buddy, bro, get your bag. When he's advocating for shit that harms so many people.
That's against you and that's harms people.
Yeah, you know, oh yeah, get your bag. I hate the fact that now as a society, all we worship is money.
Yes.
I know. There you go. That's my little rant.
That's a good rant.
It's
a good rant.
Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google?
How am I going to debate that? How am I going to get the facts? Guess what? There's no talking to them. They don't have to check the facts. Oh, I know. How? I just know. How am I going to debate that?
That's facts.
People are going to hear what they want to hear. Once people have it made up in their mind of how you are, how whomever is, there's nothing you can tell them or show them to make them feel otherwise. One of the most difficult things to do is to change somebody's mind on anything, right? Even if you give them facts. Give them facts to change their mind, bro. But them facts ain't facting because I feel strongly about whatever this is, right? Which also is an indication of stupidity, right? Low intelligence, where you are given information that contradicts your information, which should make you feel differently, man. But when you're so emotionally attached to this, regardless of what anybody says, it don't matter.
Nah, that's facts. Anyway, man, I'm not gonna lie. Based off this video, Stevie Knight do look kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't hold a stance for a lot of things, which is okay. You shouldn't be having a debate about shit if that's the case at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you are. You shouldn't only be talking about black people and not talking about white people. You shouldn't be only talking about white people and not talking about black people at the end of the day. You should be making videos based off of the actual content of the videos and not the color of the skin of the people in the content. I understand why they're calling him a sellout, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If nobody told you today, I love you. Peace.